back here on SportsLine. Just heard from new Titans quarterback Malik Willis. I think he was very impressive on the field, and certainly when he was talking, I think another guy's been really impressive, especially given the situation he's thrusted into. I mean, think about it. Draft night, nobody's expecting the Titans to take a wide receiver in the first round. Then they trade A.J. Brown to the Eagles. Then it feels like they have to take a wide receiver in the first round. They end up getting the 18th overall pick out of that trade, and they select Arkansas wideout Treylon Burks, who immediately then draws all these comparisons to Brown. I mean, that's his actual comp on draft profiles. People say he's like A.J. Brown. And now he's got to replace A.J. Brown. And so the pressure was there from the moment his name was called in terms of what he has to do. And I just think he's been impressive in how he's handled things. Now, say whatever you want about Friday and him not being able to finish the first practice. We'll get past that, obviously. There's a lot more out there in front of him that he can do. But I think his answers and I think the way he carries himself has been very, very impressive. And our John Burton got a chance to sit down with the Titans' first-round draft pick.
First of all, Treylon, welcome to Nashville. How does it feel to be a Tennessee Titan?
I would just say words can't explain it. I'm just grateful for this opportunity. Grateful for the Titans believing in me, and just ready to get to work.
So, I guess I got to know this. What do you like to go by? Do you go by Trey, Treylon?
It doesn't matter. Trey or Treylon, doesn't matter. Yes, sir.
Now, you told the story the night you got drafted that your high school coach had a premonition that morning. Who was it that said that you were going to be a Tennessee Titan before the draft even happened?
Actually, before I was fishing, and my high school football coach, he pulled up out there, and he was like, you're going to be a Titan today. And I was like, well, I'll be grateful for it, but I don't think you're right. And then when I got the call and said it, he came up to me, he looked at me, I was like, yeah, you were right. He was right, so yes, sir.
When you talked to John Robinson and Mike Vrabel, what was it that they said they liked about you and your game?
I would just say just how I carry myself, not trying to be anybody else, playing my game the best way I know how, and then also my faith playing a big role in my everyday life, giving everything to God and knowing that, it can always be taken and never taking anything for granted.
And I'm sure it doesn't hurt the fact that you're 6'3", 225 pounds and can run like the wind, too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
But talk about your physical traits a little bit. How much do they help you on the football field?
I would just say they play a big role just because, a lot of people get it wrong just for a guy being big. They might think he can't run or he can't jump or, just all different things play a big role in that. And, I just use that as motivation and just prove everybody wrong and knowing what I can do and not worried about what everybody else is saying about me. And so I just go play the game like I know how.
Was there a moment in high school or in college when you realized, hey, I have what it takes to make it to the National Football League?
I'm not a cocky person or anything, but I would just say when I was in Pee Wee football, they made a rule on me that I couldn't catch the ball until 5 yards after, past the line of scrimmage. I was just like, that's some BS, because I'm like, how can you put that on a young kid at a young age? But that's what just showed me that I was different, and I just used that and, just ran with it.
Of course, the night you get traded, there's a blockbuster trade. The Titans send A.J. Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. When did you find out that A.J. was getting traded? Was it before or after you got the call from, Braves and JR to say that you were coming here?
Actually, my agent came up to me and he was like, the Titans just traded A.J. Brown. And I was like, yikes. And then maybe literally 5 seconds later, I was getting a call from Nashville. It was a Nashville number. And then I turned around, I looked at it, and I was like, are you serious? And that's why I was like, yeah. And I'm just grateful from then on.
You mentioned the night you got drafted that, you were an admirer of A.J. Brown, right? You studied his game a little bit, right?
100%. Yeah, because he was, A.J. Brown, he's a really good player. We have to, we're big, we're fast. But, I'm just not the type of person that like to compare myself to anybody. Just because I'm myself, I just be myself. And I just go out there and play the game like I know how.
Sure, I know you don't like to compare yourself, but you know what's going to happen here in Nashville. The fans are going to compare you. You're going to be forever linked to A.J. Brown. Do you feel any additional pressure coming in, knowing that, listen, the A.J. Brown trade announcement was a very polarizing decision here in Nashville, and, Do you feel any additional pressure?
No, sir, not at all. Just because I know who I am, I know who I got behind me, and I just know that, God's going to take care of everything. I give all my pressure and anxiety to God and let him take care of it. And so, no, there's no pressure at all.
Vrabel is a guy that preaches effort and finish. I'm sure you heard that a lot in the
100%.
pre-draft process, meeting with him. Those two words he echoes all the time, effort and finish. Are you an effort and finish guy?
100%. I would say I wouldn't even be in this position if I wasn't an effort and finish guy.
Yeah.
Just because of playing in the SEC, one of the greatest conferences in the football league and college football, it takes nothing but effort and finish to win football games. Because, you have to play that full 60 minutes the whole time in the SEC because everybody's just as good as you are. And, that's what has prepared me and taught me effort and finish. And then also my great-grandfather played a big role just before football or anything came about. You always give effort in everything that you do because you never know what good or what bad can come out of it. And, always don't quit on anything. Finish it at 100%. And so that's all I've always been taught.
How do you think you'll like playing for Vrabel? He's a straight shooter. You're going to know where you stand right away with Mike Vrabel.
That's what I want to play for.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to beat around the bush for me. Tell me straight up so I can learn from my mistakes and be a better person and a better man.
He also wants guys that are big in the community. Do you plan on, making yourself seen out here in the Nashville community?
Yes, sir. That's my biggest thing, making an impact on little kids, the community, and changing people's lives. That's played a big role in my life since I've, been a young guy. So.
It's been a hell of a year for you.
Yes, sir.
You get engaged and you get drafted. You come here to Tennessee. I mean, you must be living right.
Yes, sir. 100%. That's that effort and finish right there. Yes, sir.
Now, most young people your age are into video games and stuff like that, but you're a true outdoorsman. I come to find out you're a hunter and a fisherman, right?
Yes, sir. I do it all from hog hunting to duck hunting, to deer hunting, to fishing. I just like being out there and just having my peace.
How old were you when you first started getting into that?
Maybe 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. I've been doing it all my life.
Last question. What are the Tennessee Titans getting in Treylon Burks as a football player?
I would say a fearless player, somebody that, that his faith plays a role in his everyday life. That's going to go to work every day and put the organization and teammates before him and not worry about money or anything like that because it's not about that. And just play the game like it's supposed to be played and just be myself.
You mentioned faith a few times in this interview. How important is that to you, to your everyday life and how you go forward?
I would just say I wouldn't even be in this position or really be here if my faith didn't play a big role in my life.
Great. Thank you so much.